Hume has seen a lot in this town. He's our senior political analyst, joins us tonight. Good evening, Brit.
Hi, Brit.
Get your reaction to the day and the reaction to the reaction.
Well, it's been quite a storm, which I fully anticipated the minute I heard this, that there'd be a tremendous, politically, they'd be hell to pay over this. And it certainly is the case that the Democrats, and with remarkable skill and discipline in messaging, have attacked the timing of this. It's hard for them to attack the substance of it, since so many of them didn't like Comey and sharply criticized him and suggested he ought to be fired a long time ago. And the second thing is, of course, they've used that as a basis for calling for an independent prosecutor, which has been their mantra for some time. And they pounced on this, and they're all saying it, and it's remarkable. However, there's a handful of Republican senators who come out and express their misgivings about this. So this
one of them, the Senate Intelligence Committee chair.
Exactly, Richard Burr of North Carolina. So this firestorm may involve Republicans as well as Democrats, in which case the trouble for the Trump administration is likely to be prolonged.
We've seen a few administration officials out in defense, and for the first time, a short time ago, we've got the president's tweet, and I'm sure it's not the last, but he says, crying Chuck Schumer stated recently, "I do not have confidence in him, James Comey, any longer, then acts so indignant." Hashtag drain the swamp. A short time ago.
Well, he's right on the facts. That's exactly what Chuck Schumer said. In fact, I heard it replayed tonight. Somebody mentioned it to him when he had his little comment tonight. A reporter mentioned that to him in a prelude to a question, which I thought would end up with the question being, so why did you change your mind? But it went somewhere else. So he slipped away without having to deal with that. But that's out there. And that's true of a lot of other Democrats who've been critical of this as well.
Senator Schumer has called all Democrats to be in their seats in the U.S. Senate at 9:30 tomorrow morning for some announcement. And I'm sure a call for a special prosecutor will continue.
Yeah, that'll crescendo.
But does that have more heft now, today, considering this action, even though the administration is trying to decouple and point back to the Hillary Clinton email investigation and this review by Rod, the Deputy Attorney General?
It may, but it is not something that the Congress can force. It is not something that's likely to be the subject of legislation which could presumably force such a thing that would ever pass the Congress. So they can make noise about it, and the pressure might become so intense and the firestorm so flaming that the administration would feel compelled to go along. It would certainly help the Democrats' cause in that regard if there were a shred of hard evidence that there'd been collusion between the Trump campaign and Russians to defeat Hillary Clinton. So far, that hasn't arisen. There's plenty of evidence that the Russians interfered in the election or tried to, and that is something that would be easily the subject of a bipartisan investigation. And there's no real reason to believe that an investigation of that by itself would not be supported by the Trump administration or any investigative agency working for it.
Last thing, very quickly. The administration and maybe even the president are going to meet with Russian officials tomorrow.
What wonderful timing.
Amazing. Brit, as always, thanks.